Welcome to Meghan and Harry Tales channel. I am your host, Kelly. Today we've got quite the unexpected twist to share with you. We're taking a detour from the usual narrative that's constantly spun around Harry and Meghan. You know, the one where everything they do is heavily criticised by British commentators. But today, we're going to talk about a surprising deviation from that script. In a world where the establishment is often seen to be against the Sussexes, we had an astonishing show of support from an unlikely source. Can you guess who? None other than Boris Johnson. Yes, you heard it right. The man who is often seen as the embodiment of the establishment, the former Mayor of London, and the ex-Prime Minister, has publicly praised Harry and Meghan. In a recent interview, Johnson surprised us all by hailing the Sussexes' decision to forge their own path as bold and courageous. He didn't stop there. He also acknowledged their charity work, highlighting Meghan's commitment to women's empowerment and Harry's dedication to mental health causes. Quite a departure from the typical narrative, wouldn't you say? Now you might be wondering why Johnson, an establishment figure, would align himself with a couple that's largely seen as anti-establishment. Could this be a strategic move on his part, an attempt to appeal to a younger, more progressive demographic? Or is there more to it than meets the eye? Whatever the reason, this unexpected praise from Boris Johnson has already sent ripples through the royal watching community. It's not every day you see someone so closely tied to the British establishment publicly supporting Harry and Meghan. Could this be a sign of a broader shift in the UK establishment's view of the Sussexes? Stay tuned as we delve deeper into this surprising twist. We'll be exploring Johnson's possible motives, the impact of his words on the Sussex narrative, and what this could mean for Harry and Meghan's future. This is an episode you won't want to miss. Boris Johnson's recent interview was a source of surprise for many. The Prime Minister, often seen as a staunch supporter of the monarchy, broke ranks and praised Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Yes, you heard it right, folks. The same Boris Johnson, who is often seen as the embodiment of the establishment, praised the couple who have made headlines for challenging that same establishment. In a conversation with journalist Tomini, Johnson lauded the Sussexes for their bold and courageous decision to step back from royal duties and carve out their own path. It was a comment that left many of us gobsmacked, especially considering the barrage of criticism the couple has faced from the British press and public alike. But Johnson didn't stop there. He went on to commend the Sussexes for their charity work, specifically mentioning Meghan's efforts towards women's empowerment and Harry's dedication to mental health causes. He particularly highlighted Harry's work with the Invictus Games, an international sporting event for wounded, injured and sick servicemen and women, both serving and veterans. Indeed, Johnson's praise for the Sussexes was surprising, to say the least. It was a far cry from the usual narrative we hear about Harry and Meghan, especially from figures closely associated with the British establishment. And it left many of us wondering, why the sudden change of tune from Johnson? Was this a genuine show of support or a calculated move designed to appeal to a certain demographic? Whatever the reason, Johnson's comments have certainly stirred the pot, leaving royal watchers and political pundits alike scratching their heads. But one thing is clear. This unexpected praise has left many wondering about Johnson's motives. Is he trying to win over the younger, more progressive demographic that has often been critical of him? Or is there a deeper strategy at play? As always, only time will tell. This unexpected praise left many wondering about Johnson's motives. Why would Boris Johnson, an establishment figure, praise an anti-establishment couple? A question that has left many scratching their heads. Theories abound as to Johnson's motives. Some suggest it could be part of an elaborate image-building exercise. Boris Johnson, after all, is no stranger to reinvention. From his dynamic tenure as the Mayor of London to his rollercoaster ride as Prime Minister, he's constantly shown a knack for adapting his public persona to suit the times. Could this surprising show of support for Harry and Meghan be another facet of that same strategy? The Sussexes, with their fresh, progressive approach to royal duties, have struck a chord with younger audiences worldwide. They've used their platform to champion causes close to their hearts, from women's empowerment to mental health awareness. By aligning himself with Harry and Meghan, Johnson could be attempting to tap into that same youthful, progressive demographic. It's a demographic that has traditionally been critical of his policies and decisions. Could this be a calculated move to win over some of those critics? But let's not forget another crucial aspect. The Sussexes have been vocal about systemic issues within the monarchy. By praising a couple who have openly challenged the establishment, Johnson could be sending a subtle message of change. A message that even those at the top are not immune to scrutiny and must evolve with the times. Could it also be a strategic move to distance himself from the royal establishment and present himself as a forward-thinking leader? It's a possibility that cannot be discounted. However, it's important to remember that these are all theories. We can only speculate about Johnson's true motives. But one thing seems clear. His unexpected praise for Harry and Meghan has certainly stirred the pot. Could this be a clever move by Johnson to win over critics? Only time will tell. We'll have to wait and see how this unexpected twist in the narrative plays out. This unexpected support could change the narrative around Harry and Meghan. Just when we thought we had the Sussexes narrative all figured out, along comes a curveball from an unlikely source. Boris Johnson's praise for Harry and Meghan has not only sent shockwaves through the political and royal corridors, but could significantly alter the public's perception of the couple. Consider this. Johnson is not just any British citizen. He is a former Prime Minister, a man whose words carry weight and influence. When someone of his stature breaks ranks with the establishment to praise the Sussexes, people sit up and take notice. It's almost as if a seal of approval has been stamped on Harry and Meghan's decision to forge their own path, lending it a legitimacy that it previously lacked. Moreover, this unexpected support could potentially trigger a ripple effect, leading to a shift in how the UK establishment views the Sussexes. Up until now, Harry and Meghan's narrative has been one of rebellion against the establishment. But with Johnson's words, the narrative could evolve into one of transformation and progress. The Sussexes' decision to step away from the royal family and pursue their own independent path was seen by many as a defiant act. But Johnson's praise reframes this act not as defiance, but as courage. It's a subtle shift, but one that could significantly change how the public perceives Harry and Meghan. Let's not forget that narratives are powerful. They shape our understanding of people, events, and situations. In the case of Harry and Meghan, their narrative has been one of controversy and conflict, but with Johnson's unexpected praise, we could be witnessing the birth of a new narrative, one where the Sussexes are seen not as rebels, but as trailblazers, leading the way towards a new kind of monarchy. This unexpected praise could be a game-changer for Harry and Meghan. So, Boris Johnson has surprisingly praised Harry and Meghan. What does this mean for the future? Well, it's a question that has many of us pondering. We've delved into the unexpected praise from Boris Johnson, a man often seen as an embodiment of the British establishment. His words of admiration for Harry and Meghan, a couple that has been seen as anti-establishment, were indeed a surprise. This is the same couple that has openly spoken out against systemic issues within the monarchy, a move that Johnson, as a former leader of the government, would typically avoid endorsing. We've also looked into the potential motive behind Johnson's sudden change of heart. Some speculate that this could be part of his post-political image building. Johnson has always been a man with an eye for reinvention. He has donned many hats, from the Mayor of London to the Prime Minister. By aligning himself even loosely with Harry and Meghan, he could be appealing to a younger, more progressive demographic. This is a group that has often criticised him in the past, so this move could be seen as an attempt to change their perception. The impact of Johnson's praise on the Sussexes narrative is another point of discussion. It's rare for someone so closely associated with the British establishment to publicly support Harry and Meghan. Could this signal a broader shift in how the UK establishment views the Sussexes? It's too early to tell, but it's certainly a possibility worth considering. As we wrap up, let's remember that the world of royal watchers and political pundits is always full of surprises. Today's unexpected praise from Boris Johnson for Harry and Meghan is a testament to that. It's a fascinating twist that has left us all with much to think about. And with that, we come to the end of our discussion. Thank you everyone for watching the video. Show some love by subscribing, sharing the video and leaving a comment. I am your loyal host Kelly. Until next time.